Good morning. So let's add a little sunshine to our day. This is a matched pair of fancy yellow heart-shaped diamond studs. They're kind of hard to beat. So you can have all sorts of diamond studs, right? You can have rounds, you can have princess, you can have whatever you want. I don't care. But you probably won't see a lot of heart-shaped diamonds. Heart-shaped diamonds kind of fall into this category where some people think they're like cheesy or kitschy or whatever. Sorry, my hair's making me crazy. But if they're well cut, they can be such a beautiful, fancy shape. So when you look at this heart shape, you can see how it has a really perfect cleft right at the top, and it's kind of full and yet comes to like a soft point. These are actually really perfectly matched. And I just think that this particular heart, let me take the back off so you can really see it, just has such a pretty shape. Again, hard to find. It's really hard to cut it so that the cleft is defined, and it's hard to get them to match with the lobes on either side being like perfectly symmetrical. All these things really count when you're seeing a heart-shaped diamond. Again, kudos to the cutter, not the easiest thing to execute. This particular earring has this really pretty cup in the back with an actual wire so that it makes, even though the diamonds are big, it makes them sit flat on the lobe. And the cupping that it has helps intensify the natural fancy yellow color and makes it hold even on the ear. So a long time ago, I worked for Tenenbaum, and he taught me a little tip that I always say to people when they're looking to buy color from me, whether it's emeralds or diamonds or whatever. Does the color hold? Like when you pull away, do you still see the color? Or is it something that you have to see only under bright light, super close up? The reason why I say this is because emeralds, rubies, sapphires, all gemstones, if they're too dark or too desaturated, at a couple feet remove, you can't see the color per se. So my question to people is, what are you paying for? Like, do you just like the mounting? Do you like the style? Do you like the idea of it? Is it in your price range? Or is it actually the color you want it to be at a distance and less than optimal lighting and all these things that you should start to think about when you're looking to pony up some serious money for a colored stone. So yellow diamonds are the same. They can be kind of a lemony yellow. They can be more of a golden yellow. This is weird and this will be kind of hard to explain, but when you're talking about white diamonds, it's a linear scale. You go D to Z, and it's D is whiter than E is whiter than F is whiter than G. Okay, ish. With colored stones and with colored diamonds, the scale is 3D. So you can actually have all these different categories. These are fancy yellow, but you can have light fancy, you can have intense fancy, you can have vivid, and then you have all these different types of yellow within the diagram. So you can have brownish yellow, orangish yellow, a million things. There's all these varieties. So to get something straight up fancy yellow, which in the day was called canary, is pretty unusual, especially a perfect match, especially because they're hearts, and they're such pretty hearts, if I do say.